Now, everyone coming into this cult of winning isn't going to make it to be a winner because they're going to tap out. They're going to feel these struggles, these wrestling matches internally. They're going to feel it and be like, man, this isn't worth this, man. I thought it was going to be easy and fast. I ain't got time for this. What's my boys doing right now? Let's go. We got to go to the club. I need to get drunk. I need to get blazed up. What are you doing? You're medicating. You're self-medicating. That's exactly what you do in your journal. It's self-love there. You tell yourself all the time. You encourage yourself. You write down in those journal entries everything that you want someone else that you love or care about the opinion of. You want them to say those things. You're waiting for it. You're listening. You just know that those words are hanging on their tongue, and they're going to say it. Well done. Good job. Wow, I'm impressed by that. That's what you want. You want to talk that talk in your journal. You want to be so positive that it's fucking ooey gooey love. Okay, that's what you want. Because nothing negative will have any impact, and you don't even write anything negative. You encourage yourself constantly, all the time. That journal needs to be something beyond the scope of a Mead spiral notebook. It needs to be something that you have worth and value associated with. That's why my journals, they're anywhere between $80 to $100 a piece. Now, you might not have the money to be able to do that right now, but that's okay. But you need to think about what you're writing in. That's not some scrapbook where people just jot down things like, okay, well, I got to remember to do this and do that. Or where your kid can pick it up every now and then and draw and scribble on. What do you do? How do you keep your journal? Where do you keep it at? Do you have any regard for what you're writing down? Because if they're not treasures to you, if you're not making monuments to your progress, and it sounds narcissistic when we talk like that, doesn't it? Someone that doesn't journal, I don't journal. That's a fucking clown talking like that. That's somebody that is literally planning to fail or never being successful. And there's a lot of people in this industry that are idiots, and they're monetized and they're rewarded, but not for the basis of the ability to trade. They're monetized and rewarded for capturing and holding your attention to their bullshit. What are they producing? What fruit are they producing? Who's coming behind them, listening to their logic and saying, well, that worked for me, look at me. I don't work anymore. I did what this goober is saying. It's very little of that going on. Very little of that. Here, we have those receipts. We have those people. We have them both in female and in male. We have them in older people and younger people. We have them in teenagers that haven't even got to 21 yet. And we have people in their 60s reporting that they're so thankful that they were given this opportunity. And it's a tearjerker for me when I hear things like that, because I look around and it's expensive as a fuck right now. It's so expensive. And I got lots of money, and I still look at this grocery bill and I'm like, how the hell are people making it? Like, how are you all doing it? Leave comments if you feel open to do so. It's a struggle. And until you decide to make changes and refine your future self, you got to filter out all the negative stuff. That doesn't mean you can't acknowledge, like I just did here, saying, man, it's expensive. Acknowledge that. That needs to inspire your willingness to stick to it, because you think it's just going to get cheaper. Do you honestly think things are going to be cheaper 2 years from now? No, they're not. When has ever been a time where inflation has impacted the things that we buy? And it causes shrinkflation, and the amount of the product reduced in size, but they sell it for the same or if not more money. When has that ever happened? I remember as a kid, candy bars used to be 3 times the size that they're at. Not now. I never imagined looking at the things I spent money on, and people spend the majority of their money on junk food. Like, that's stupid waste of money. Are you doing those things too? Are you buying poor substances and calling it and lying to yourself and saying it's food? You're going to have a physiological response to the things you take in and ingest. If you're eating junk food and fast food all the time, you're drinking caffeinated drinks, I don't need a caffeine drink. I can be hopped up in a minute, just like that. I can talk myself up, bang, real high. But as you'll learn later in this Twitter space, you'll be able to talk yourself down like a Buddhist monk. Come down cold, cool, collected in minutes. And that's how you have to operate. You have to look at things in a manner where everything outside of you has no impact or influence over you. But are you doing the opposite right now? Have you been doing the opposite of that? Have you been using social media as a drug dealer, looking for that feel-good buzz from ICT? Because if that's what you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you heard that right. You're doing it wrong. Social media is a cancer. And the worst thing you can do is live on it. Elevating people to celebrity status, godlike personas. They want worship. And some of you want to worship. Some of you all want to be worshipers. Why? Why would you do that? There's only one deserving of that. And it ain't me. And it ain't nobody else on social media either. So how do you discover what your problems are? Well, what do you focus on all day long? And how do you act when you're in stressful, pressure situations? If you find yourself in a stressful situation, that need not be in trading, and you react in a manner that is aggressive, in anger and outburst, chances are you're a very impulsive person. That means given an opportunity to invest or trade with money, whether it be funded account, demo account, whatever, you're going to impulsively do something. Because inside you are a conquering warrior. That's how you internalize yourself. You see yourself as someone going out there like a gladiator. You challenging me? Bro, you challenging me? Step! That's the typical male response. Admittedly, that's how I am. I was not that way when I was a young man. Growing up, I had to hold that at bay because I knew if I let it out one time, it would just go wild. And it did for a little while. And I did things I'm not proud of. But what happens if you're in a stressful situation and you clam up? You paralyze yourself. You're like, I don't want to do anything. And you break down. You may cry. You may have anxiety. You may freeze up and lock up and just completely shut down. In trading, that's going to be someone that never takes the step forward. You'll never trade. And you have to have a comfort of saying, you know what? The outcome might not be what I want it to be. Every trade starts that way. And you have to invite the opportunity for that to be wrong. You hear what I just said there? Whereas everyone that puts a trade on now, they want, I hope it works. But I'm afraid it's probably going to stop me out. Man, and listen to the YouTubers that live stream. Listen closely. And the ones that show their face, I'm so thankful for because they're wonderful case studies for you. Watch their whole demeanor change as the market spends more time close to their entry point. See, my trades, what I'm teaching you to do is you're going to be entering in the market where the market leaves your entry soon. It doesn't spend time around it a lot. And the surest thing you can do in the beginning while you're learning how to trade and reading the tape is notice that when you think, okay, the market should go up or should it go down here? If it doesn't immediately start to respond that way, chances are you're probably wrong. Would you have the willingness to kill that trade, eat the commission cost and whatever underneath the spread or any small little drawdown? Would you be willing to take that? Or are you the person that's going to say, even if I'm wrong, I'd still like to be able to get my stop to break even? You're worried about money. You're worried about not losing money. You're worried about being perfect. You're worried about never taking a loss. And that is going to invite the very thing happening. You don't understand that right now. Hearing it sounds like that can't be true. But that's exactly what it is. If you're afraid to make money because you're afraid of losing money, you're never going to make it as a trader. Because every trade that you open up is a losing trade that you have to trade your way out of. You're underneath the commission cost as soon as you put the trade in. Boom, you have whatever that cost is, the spread. You have to overcome that if you're trading in the Forex market. Commission costs with your broker. And then it's got to climb up enough to cover those costs. And how much does it need to do that before you can put your stop to break even? And just because it's going to break even, just static price action and redelivery is going to stop you out if you try to chase too fast with a stop loss that's too tight. Unless you know things, the things I'm teaching for free. So when you're journaling and you're observing old price moves, or maybe it's something you watch in a live stream, and you see me discussing something, and maybe you're at odds. Okay, he just said he thinks it's going to do this. Okay, maybe everything I'm saying in live streams, you're saying, I don't think that's going to happen. What does that indicate to you? Well, I can tell you what you're really trying to do is you're looking for an opportunity to go on social media and say, look, I guarantee you, there's thousands of people out there. They're all young men, no kids. They're all or service sellers and course sellers. They're out there with their little demo accounts and they're trying to do the opposite so they can go on social media. Look, ICT said this, and look, here's the trade I just took. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. But if you're not doing that for that purpose there, just to get clout online, what are you doing it for? Why do you feel that? Everything I'm saying in a live stream, that most of the time is coming true, but why are you doubting it? Is that you being unteachable? No. I had a student of mine that was always trading against me, named Troy. I ain't gonna say his last name, but he knows if he's listening. Everything I taught, he was doing the opposite of. And then he would send me emails, he would complain and say, I don't know why it's not working, I'm pissed off. Used to be a poker player, did real well doing that. And he thought that it would be easy to walk right into trading. And I tried to explain to him, I said, listen, your superpower is that you're contrarian. There's a place for contrarians in trading. That's turtle soup trades, false breakouts, not trend following. So if you go into the marketplace looking for things like that as your opportunity, that's your model, that's your whole structure and approach to attacking price action as a man, because you're a gladiator. You see what I just did there? I maxed up personality, school of thought, the way they internalize things, and the thing that is a weakness, I turned it into a strength. That's a mentor. That's someone that knows what the fuck they're talking about and creates winners. That's someone that has done this many, many times and has failed. And those failures did not hold me down. I learned from them. And you're all out there trying to learn from these 20-year-olds that are just parroting what I'm saying. And they don't have the life experience with it. They have never made serious money. They've never lost serious money. They never went through the problems of finding it. This thing, I'm going to dig in deep. I'm going through a period where everything isn't working and I need to figure out what I'm supposed to do with no other encouragement. Right now, there's social media. You look around, you'll find someone to blow smoke up your ass. You will, you'll find it. But if you're not fixing the root causes, these triggering things that you keep repeating, that you don't identify are problematic issues, I call them character flaws. I have them. As a teacher, as a mentor, it would be foolish for me to tell you, I don't have any problems, I don't have any issues. Of fucking course I do. I'm human. I'm absolutely human. I wish I would have held on to the trades longer. I wish I would have had more on. I wish I would have cut off more of the trade before it turned around on me. Come on. I got no problem telling you those things. That's the reality of it. But I also know when to dial in when this shit's going to be good. A la Friday the 13th. That seems like it was a pretty fucking lucky day around here, wasn't it? Cookout was amazing. Woo! I can't wait for another one. Invite me again. Yeah, how about that? But you have to go through the process of seeing how you feel when you're watching price action. Do you turn it into a love story? Like, oh man, this is perfect. This is love at first sight. This fair value gap, I saw it. I walked in, there it was. The euro dollar sitting right there in the New York Pill Zone. She was fine. Look at that. Girl, turn around. Let me see what you got in the back. Oh my goodness. I'm in there. Tap. You're in that fair value gap. It's starting to run. You covered the dealing spread. Your stop loss. You're tucking up behind there a little bit behind that fair value gap low. And you're like, man, it's a romance now. It's going to run up there to my TP. I can't stand when people say TP. You know, I hear TP, I think toilet paper. And I guess it's not far stretched because most of these fucking people out there that are trying to teach people how to trade, their fucking trades are trash. They're shit. So TP makes fucking perfect sense. It's a take profit or that's your target. TP. TP. Like you can't say the fucking word TP. That's the equivalent of somebody on the fucking road that can't even flick their little turn signal. It's right there next to your fucking hand, you lazy ass. Just click it. Let everybody know what the hell you're doing. Protect the car you're driving. Protect your personal property. And there are other people's personal property. I'm like a dog. I see a squirrel. What? Squirrel? It's easy for me to come off of. These are all the things I usually delete out of a pre-recorded lecture. But here, you get all the fun carnival-like atmosphere. But how do you feel when you're watching price action? Are you at odds with the final boss? You're in a video game and it's like, I only got one life left. This is it, I'm on it. And I got to win this one or it's game over. I have to reset. You're putting too much emphasis on the outcome. So you need to observe what you're trying to talk yourself away from that's toxic when you're journaling. Don't record them with the toxicity. What do I mean by that? If you're watching price action, you're not demoing, you're not doing funded account challenges, you're not trading with a funded account, you're not trading with a little bit of money because I got to learn how to real money. We're going to talk about that again. You're just simply watching the tape. You're watching price action fluctuate, and you're trying to get a feel for what makes you feel like the market's going to behave a certain way. And you record that. At what minute marker do you see that happen? And describe what it is. If you don't have the ability to just, shorthand it, in other words, a couple keywords that it's going to help you remember what you were feeling at that time, record yourself audibly. At this minute marker right here, I'm watching pound dollar. At this minute marker right now, I'm watching crude oil. At this minute marker right now, I'm watching S&P. I'm watching NASDAQ. And I see this right now and what I expect to see based on my current understanding. I believe that the market's going to behave this way. It's going to go to this buy side or it's going to go to this sell side. And it should not go below this low or above this high before it does that. That's what I believe. And then at that moment, you say how confident. Describe your confidence in that happening. Even if you don't feel extremely confident about it, just say, I got a hunch that it's probably going to do this, but I'm not all that convinced yet. You need to be aware of that. At the end of that experiment, that study, which I'm going to put you through this week, I'm going to outline how you can go in and do drills over and over and over all day long. All day long, you can do these things. And you're going to see how to find the right fair value gap because you're going to test every single one of them with me. We're going to be out here. You're invited to have a demo account this week because we're all going to be pushing buttons. I want you to see what it feels like, okay? I want you to see what it feels like to be in something that has a measurement applied to it. Does this work? Does this not work? How fast does it fail? How fast does it work? What do you feel when I promote these certain situations? I'm going to say, look at this. We're going to do this right here. We're going to buy this right here. We're going to sell this right here. Listen to me, and I'm going to say it again in the live streams, ad nauseum, okay? Do not use it as a signal service. Do not take your funded account challenge or your funded account or your live account and follow these as entries. I am not telling you to do that. Caleb is watching this. You're all watching this. I'm teaching how you get comfortable with not needing to be right. And how, by contrast, like I was describing yesterday in live stream, when there's fluidity in price action where it just moves around real nice and it creates these imbalances and it reaches sweeping up to buy side and down the sell side, that's a trader's market. that is a market that you can just go in there. You don't need to have a bias. You don't need a bias in that because it's moving around so nicely. You can get 10, 15, 20, 30 handles and be opposed to if I was being held at gunpoint. Hey, ICT, is this going to be an up close day or down close day? Up close day. Okay. You're thinking you only want to be a buyer for the rest of your career in that because ICT said it's going to be up close day. I have proven many, many times that you could be a short seller in a day that I'm primarily bullish in. But see, in the beginning, it's fruitful for you to only focus on the side that a higher time frame bias indicates that it's likely to keep moving in one direction, higher or lower. So if you filter out everything that would be impulsive for you to take a trade on, and it may be going against that higher time bias, it filters out the likelihood, not that all of them would fail, but chances are as a new student trying to do something with money that you can't afford to lose, trying to spend money on funded account challenges that you can't afford to spend yet, not getting the results that you're hoping for, and then that compounds and builds up inside of you. And then you have to wrestle through that like weeds and thorn bushes because the destination you have in front of you of successful trading and consistently profitable, it gets barriers placed in front of it. Thorn bushes, snares, all these booby traps. You're laying that in front because the last time you did this, you got hurt. So you're not getting closer to your objective and your destiny. You're creating barriers because you're doing all the wrong things, not realizing that that's causing an impediment to your progress. Because you think you're going to do something to circumvent the need to go through all the things that are required for you to do it correctly. It's better to do the things I'm telling you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid because you won't have to second guess and think about, did I do it the right way? You'll have very little to go back on once you get there and say, you know what, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Contrast that with, well, I listened to Swaggy. He said, go out there and start with real money because I have to learn with real money. That's foolish knowledge. That's not even knowledge. That's misinformation. If you take something from other influencers, and he ain't the only one that's ever said that, but I take odds at that because when you monetize your right or wrong in the beginning, because you elevate every transaction, every idea on the basis of right or wrong, I'm not promoting the idea that you need to worry about being right and wrong. These jokers that try to say that stuff, they're literally twisting everything I've ever taught. You don't need to be right. It's not about being right. It's about being profitable. But they'll take my words, twist around, and act like they come up with something. You remove the necessity about being right. If you remove that, that means there's no emotional tie to it. You have no psychological arm wrestling match now to prove to yourself or anyone else that you're right. You don't need to be right. But you won't identify what those triggering things are inside you that are intrusive thoughts that become materialized and manifested into losing money. And you will not, I guarantee you will not, if you do those things and you lose money, you're going to fault me. You're going to fault everybody else you followed in a Discord room or that Telegram channel or that YouTube guy or that person live streaming. I lost all my money. Listen to your ass. And they're going to fault find and they're going to push all the responsibility off themselves. I've seen this happen. I've seen it. But the question is what do you do with all the hundreds of thousands of people that are making money with it? They learned the same thing. What are they doing differently? What did you do? And every time I've asked, they always either expose themselves of this, they didn't do the right work. They were not using the things they were taught. Are you teachable? Are you willing to listen? You're here today listening to this. And your mind is the first tool that's responsible for you to make the right steps going forward. And if you allow it to be clouded with fear, anxiety, premature self-worth to high levels of I want to be respected and almost borderline worshipped online, you're doing it wrong. And you need to fix that. You got to do some house cleaning. But when you're journaling, you need to discover what that root catalyst was that caused you the uncertainty about an idea when you were watching price. Or what gave you superhuman level confidence. what was those triggering factors? And if it's a negative, you have to say, for instance, let's say like this. Say you're watching a NASDAQ and you're tape reading and you're doing the drills that I'm going to teach you guys this week. And you get into one and you don't really feel confident that it's going to behave like you would like to see it behave, but you still do the exercise and you press the demo and you want to watch how long it takes you to get stopped out or run to the target. But as soon as you press the button, you feel regret. Like I should have waited. What that's going to do is, number one, you're doing it with a demo. But if you feel that, and it may only happen for a second internally, what that's highlighting is, even on a demo where nobody else can see it, you feel the pressure of having it correct. Now you have an opportunity. So many times you're hiding that stuff, the things that you have to sweep up and clean up in your head, all these intrusive thoughts, all these hindering spirits that are keeping you from finding the success you're looking for. You're letting them live with you. You're making the bed for them. You're feeding them constantly, 3 meals in a cot every single day. You're feeding these intrusive thoughts, these demons. They're going to hold you back. You're allowing them to live rent-free in your life, consuming all of your productivity, all of your progress. It's stealing your future success. Like a vampire, it's sucking the life marrow out of you. You don't even realize it. But when you journal, it puts a microscope right over top of that. And you're in that fortress of solitude. You're not going to talk about these things with me. You're not going to talk about it with the people online. It's safe. It's safe for you to do this. It's a controlled environment. Nothing bad can happen. It's only upside. It's only upside doing these things. And it makes you better as a person. It will make you better as a trader. And it'll help you wrestle fear of missing out, greed, over trading, over leveraging. All those things are corrected with a journal. And you wonder why these same influencers online have to keep resetting their funded account challenges, and they keep blowing up. They're dancing around, carrying on entertaining you, but they keep blowing up. And you ask them, do you journal? No, come on, man. And then you're wondering why they're constantly having to publicly reset. They got to constantly keep doing that. And if they just would listen, put their pride aside and just listen, because this is good medicine, folks. This is good medicine. No one successful in trading falls into it by accident. It's an earned skill set. And it will not ever be easy for anyone. Even if you listen to everything I'm telling you to do, which in my opinion is the correct way of doing it. Not because it's mine, because it's rooted in pure psychology. Sound logic. When you remove the sugary sweet, I got to do it fast, and you already owe it to me last week, and you better give it to me in a 5-minute video, or I'm not interested. I'm not going to follow you, ICT. If you have the time to sit down and write that, like, you owe us this, you owe us that, or I'm not going to, don't follow me. I'm not going to change my lifestyle because you didn't follow me or don't support me or like me. I don't give a shit about that. None of you people matter that much to me. Okay, that's the truth. None of you matter that much to me. But why waste the opportunity when someone like myself is willing to teach you for free, and when I've done it with other people, and the things that they do are all linked to the things I'm telling you here today. You have to journal. Don't hide from your character flaws. You do it in your journal, discover what they are, and you find that by how you feel. When you're doing these exercises, do you feel like, okay, I'm going to make this is what he told me I should reach for and target that, but I'm going to do this. What's that tell you? You're trying to stretch the boundaries because you're competitive. You're fucking competitive, right? Okay. You want to race Bolt with a fucking leg cast on? Because that's exactly what you're trying to say you're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to run this faster than a guy that's done world records. So you have a superiority complex, which is what most of the influencers online have against me. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that I can do this all the time, every single day. They don't like it because it casts a very large shadow on them. I'm talking to them here too. I'm not talking down to them. I'm talking to them as a peer. Hey, you're in the same industry I am. I'm not a giant. I'm not somebody that should be worshipped or looked up to. I don't like when people do that to me. But these people want that. If they listen to me like I'm trying to teach you to do it, they will be better traders, better mentors, and they will be pillars in the industry that deserve recognition. Because right now, they don't deserve it. They don't.